who is going to be coming along from where. And I'd love to just see a massive wave of your hands if you are coming on your own to the event, girls, or you're coming with someone else. So you're coming on your own? Yep. And you're coming with someone else? Very cool. So most of our girls actually come on their own, and we know how scary that is. So we're going to share from one of the girls who's been to one of our recent events, and she came for the first time on her own as well. So we've got a few things we're going to cover off tonight. Logistics, some of the questions you might have as well. We're here to answer them, and also a little bit of a chance for you to get to meet us and hear a little bit about us as well. So Fiona.
Welcome, girls. Super excited. We've had a wonderful event in Brisbane and had 350 or 380 ladies in the room. So we're going to see if we can top it in Melbourne. Who's up for that challenge? We've certainly got more girls registered for Melbourne, so we want to see if we can knock off all Brisbane. So it just fills mine and Sandra's heart to do this work, to see ladies walk in on a Friday unsure of himself, unsure of us, unsure of what they're walking into, and to be brave enough to do that, because we absolutely understand how scary that can be, and to, show up and to participate and to, grow and heal and gain their confidence back and their belief in themselves. And then as we go through the 3 days, it is a transitional journey that we take you on. And I can promise you, ladies, you're going to walk out of that room on Friday night bouncing with a whole new, sisterhood of friends, and you're going to feel confident in yourself, and you're going to have a new plan for yourself and your life. So looking forward to being able to help you do that. And it's actually really beautiful for us to experience. So welcome, welcome. Who has actually seen me and Sandra speak before or has been in our Facebook group for a while? Give us a wave. Oh my God, you're just like the Brisbane girls. And so many, like more than not, had never heard of us. And this was their first experience of the event, was their first experience. But that's why we do these calls, ladies. We always do 2 calls, a couple of weeks out and then just a few days out. So you guys can get to know us. You can ask us any questions, because we totally understand that, there's some really not so great people on the internet, and there's a lot of scams and things like that. But we wanted to show you that we're real, we're very raw, we're very real. Actually, we speak from our own experience, plus we're both trained professionals. We've been doing this work for a long time, and there's nothing that you probably can ask us or that you've been through that we haven't already dealt with. So we're very confident in the work that we do. So we hope that we are going to be able to add some real value to your life, because that's why we do these events. You might be wondering why they're so cheap. A lot of people think that because it's $47, is it going to be value? And we actually subsidise the tickets for you. Sandra and I don't want a situation where someone wants to heal and grow, but they can't afford to come. And so we subsidise the tickets, the general tickets, $47. They're actually costing us at the moment over $500 per seat per person that we are putting in the room. And so, it is a big discount, but we know that, some people will work with us after the event, and that's how we can be able to afford to pay for the venue and audio and all the logistics, and how we can put the event on at the price we do, because we don't want anybody to miss out who really wants to help themselves. So that's why we do this work. So anyway, I want to hear more from you girls. Has anyone got any questions, or is anything coming up for anyone that you'd love some clarity on? For the ladies who was here last week with us on the first call.
Excellent. See some familiar faces. Excellent. That's great. And ladies, what I'd love you to do, maybe pop into the chat, is maybe what you'd like to get out of the weekend. Do you want to be able to get I know, not even exactly sure, but maybe unstuck, and that is a technical term, and the ability for you to be able to look at maybe moving forward in a way with hope, some tools for your toolbox. You know, what is it that connections, some friends, some people that you can relate to. You know, I've been through 2 divorces, and I could not believe that I was divorced once, let alone twice, yet I hadn't done the work on myself after my first divorce. And I ended up falling into another relationship as a bit of a project myself. And I took on a project as well. And we had myself and my new partner came together in our own brokenness. We'd gone both through divorces and we hadn't healed from them, and we hadn't worked out what role we'd played. We hadn't worked out why we attracted these certain types of people, and we ended up not working either. So it was only after that that I started, and during even towards the end of that, that I started investing in myself and doing the work to really get why was it that I could be so successful in my businesses and in my role and my professional leadership roles that I had, and then why was it that I was coming home and I was very sad at home, and I just felt that I was a real failure at home with my own relationship, and I just couldn't get that to work. And I felt with the breakdown that it was a true failure, and a failure wasn't something that I ever wanted to ever feel, or and it was something that I felt not good enough already, and yet this just compounded on that too. So what we want to do is bring you to a place that you know that, one, you're not alone. Two, you're not a failure. This is just us moving forward and doing what we could do until this point. Everything we've done to the date, we never say what we've done is wrong. It's just what we knew. We didn't know any different. And going forward, it's just how we can not fall back into the same traps potentially, or go back into a different, same relationship, maybe a different relationship, but with the same behaviors coming out of it. So this is where we want to take you to, so that one is you're really growing and learning and identifying what got you here, and what got you here won't get you to where you want to go. So we have to bring in new learnings, new understandings of our behaviors and our environment and our thinking and how we process and the stories we create around it, so that going forward we can have a completely different future ahead, which is what we want, and something that we really create by design and intention. And a lot of people don't even know what they actually want. I remember somebody saying to me years ago, what are your hobbies? And I'm like, I actually didn't have a hobby that I could even share, something that I loved doing. I did everything for everyone else all the time because that's what the role I had to play. And it wasn't until years later that I started to actually think, what is it that I actually do want, and starting to actually put that into my life. And it took years to get the confidence to be able to do that. So we're going to be unpacking a lot of this over the weekend and sharing a lot more. But certainly, I wanted to ask, we've got Jill here, who Jill showed up to our event actually last year in Melbourne, and we heard from one of our crew on the ground that Jill was in the audience, and they said, there's a lady here from Darwin. And I said, Darwin, we're in Melbourne. And they said, yeah, Jill wants to say hi. So I said, bring her up. So Jill came up and had a chat, and we said, Jill, how come you're here from Darwin? And she said, well, I asked on your support, your email, if you girls were going to be ever coming to Darwin, and they said it wasn't on the plan. And so I flew from Darwin to Melbourne to come to this 3-day event to meet you. And here I am. So I just want to introduce Jill. Do you want to just share a little bit about your experience showing up, Jill?
Hello, everyone. Yep, I rocked up to February 2024 event, so just 18 months ago. I came on my own. I was freaking out, but I just felt like there was something that I needed to do to come to this event. I came alone. I was so scared, but oh my God, walked into that room and realized I am not alone. There were so many people there, all looking for the same answers. And because I had been lost for many years and wasted many years. But that changed when I walked into that event. I'm not alone. There was a whole community of people out there, and it was just beautiful. We had a 3-day event. I learnt heaps, and I keep going back. Anything
Yeah.
else you want me to add, Sandra?
No.
One of the things that I wanted, Jill, can I share a little bit about what we talked about? And I shared with you about your ex and what was happening there.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Jill had a conversation with me, and Jill couldn't see what I could see. And she was waiting subconsciously for her ex to come back to her. And it had been 4 years, and he was with somebody else, but she sort of was hoping, wishing, and praying that, he would come back and that he would get sick of it and, what he was doing. And they had a lovely family, they had a business, they had all of these things. But after Jill had told me her story and where she was at, where he was at, and what, I said to her, after I knew a little bit more, I said, Jilly, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but he's not coming home. And I said, okay, given that this is what I truly believe, I want you to start putting in place some measures to protect yourself, to protect your finances, to, look after your mental state, and for you to be able to start processing this. And Jilly was like, oh, no, he would never do any of that to me. And, that I'm okay. We were good. We've got everything is working business wise and everything. And I said, okay, that might be the situation, but I just need you to be careful. And I want you to consider that maybe he's not coming back. And it was only a week or so later, Jill rang me and she said, I've been to the bank. There's already money gone. Things aren't, he's not coming back, and I've now accepted that, and I've now realised that I've just been waiting for 4 years existing, and I feel really stuck, and I want to move forward. So we have been through this. Sandra and I have done this work for a long time. We are very, able to identify patterns and situations that, when we went through our divorces, we didn't know any of this. We were both smart, successful women, but we hadn't been through divorces and we didn't know what we were dealing with. But we're very good at reading the play now, and we're very good at being able to help our ladies move forward. We love men, we love family, we try and make situations as good as possible and understand both sides of people moving through this period of their life, because this is a very challenging time for everybody involved. And definitely not man haters, definitely not trying to just, take sides, or we try and come from love and compassion, and we try and minimize the damage that is done to each other and to the family. And everyone thinks that younger children take divorce much easier than what older children do, but that is not our experience. Our experience is that older children really struggle with midlife divorces of their parents, and very often parents become, and especially the mums, unfortunately, become estranged from their children. And what we have seen makes a huge difference here is when the mums heal and they do their own work and they get themselves to a place where they're happy and confident and able to move forward. That is the very best thing they can do for their family and for their children and their children's relationships with not only them, but also their father. And so we help to be able to navigate those, the territory from, wherever you currently are. We want to be able to help you to be able to move through that with minimizing the risk and the damage to everybody involved.
Absolutely. And, ladies, we have people coming from all different backgrounds and all different situations. We're all so different. And yet when we get together, we feel a connection. And we have women that are still in relationships. They're still living with their partner, not sure whether to leave or go, and leave or stay. And we don't give advice to do that either. We actually encourage you to not make any radical decisions for sure over the weekend. It's certainly about you learning and growing about yourself, and then getting to a point that you can make an educated decision based on all of the facts. and all of the areas that you need to consider. So we have women that have been separated or divorced for 18 years or 20 years or 25 years, and yet they've tried to go into other relationships and they've stumbled and fallen over the way. We've had ladies that have been scammed in online dating profiles that have been set up from somebody else that's been fake. And we've had ladies that have been widowed. We've had ladies that are in same-sex relationships. We've got pretty much the whole gamut. There's not much that surprises us. We've pretty much heard it all, unfortunately, because some of the stories we have heard, and we've been a part of, working with the girls too to work them through, have been very traumatic. And we know that what is ahead of us is what we want and what we choose, but we've got to put the work in to get there. We just don't change overnight, and time does not heal us. There's a lot of old, bitter, angry people out there that have been single for years and years and years, and they're just still triggered when they go to maybe their kid's wedding or the school assembly or a family event, and they're still upset and still angry and still bitter, and that's impacting them. It's holding them back. It's not impacting their ex. Their ex has probably gone off living their best life, and yet it's them that's holding it inside that's causing that pain. So we want you to be able to move forward and be free of that. And that's what we work you through over the weekend. And I guarantee with most of you, you'll find massive shifts and changes over the weekend, just with some of the ways that we'll go through explaining how things have worked and how things could work going forward as well.
And, like Jill, like so many of the ladies, this is just such a, eye opener, and then they start to be proactive in their life. And, Jill has a wonderful life now, and we get to see her so much. And we've just been on a cruise, and we've had the most amazing couple of days with 77 of our clients. And this is all about, ladies, we don't over traumatize you. We don't want you staying stuck in the past. We actually want you to heal. We want you to grow your emotional intelligence and being able to regulate your emotions. And then we want to set up a plan for you, so you start creating and believing that a new life is absolutely possible, because we hate to see women stuck just living in existence. And we truly believe that this is the best time of our life to do this. Very often our kids are getting to the point, if they're not already at the point, that they're off our hands, and we have always looked after everyone else. And this is the perfect time to invest some time and some energy and some, resources into looking after ourselves and taking that journey back home into our heart and seeing who we are and seeing what we want for the next part of our life. And, actually then putting in place what you're going to hear us say over and over again is we've got to take action. We've got to actually put in place a plan and a strategy for us to move forward. Because if we don't, we just end up, our day gets filled with everyone else, our time, our resources, our energy, everything is taken from us by everyone else. And while we do that initially to fill the void, what comes after separation and divorce, that also can be really draining after a time, because we end up feeling that we're just there for everybody else. And we want you to have some goals and dreams and living your life on your own terms, so you get to be able to create it the way you want it to be. And when you do that, ladies, I promise you, you're going to feel like you jump out of bed in the morning, that you're excited, that you've got, you know where you're going to, you've got a vision of what your future is going to be. And then, it's exciting to live a life where you're actually feel like you're in control. So we often say, it's like coming from the back of the bus being driven around your life by someone else, than walking up the front and putting your captain's hat on and becoming the driver in your own life. And that's what we want you to do. And that's fun, and it's powerful, and it feels super exciting. So that's how we want you walking out, with that total belief on Sunday that you've got this.
Yeah, I agree. So ladies, we've got Bev here to share a little as well. I'm going to ask her to share in a sec. And just if you've got any questions, we're open. You can ask us anything. And this is your chance to start practicing being brave. And down the bottom of the Zoom, there's a little hand that is like a little icon that you can pop up. If you want to click on it, you can, and it comes up and it says to us that you want to ask a message, or you can pop your message into the chat group, and we'll see them come through, and we'll be able to answer them there as well. So over to you. I would love to hear from you, Bev, just your experience coming along to a 3-day event. You've been to a couple now, and Bev's actually now gone through one of our programs after the event, and she also has come back working with us as she's our MC, and she works as one of our community coaches as well. So I'd love to hear from you, Bev.
Thanks, Sandra. Hi, everyone. I'm blown away that not many people know you guys when you ask to put their hands up. So, look, I guess for me, I went to the same event that Jill did, but in Perth. And I guess I'm reading some of the comments here. I was feeling exactly the same as most of you guys. I was really stuck and I wanted to move forward, but I didn't know how to move forward. And I thought for $47, I was just going to go along to this 3-day event. And I tried lots of things before, but I when you're desperate, which is where I was at, I really wanted to try anything. And I was so surprised to walk through the door and see Fiona and Sandra and their professionalism and everything else about them, which you'll find out over the weekend. They're very, very amazing women and giving back so much to everybody. But the thing for me, coming from a corporate type background, was that these ladies weren't just talking the talk. There's a lot of people out there talking the talk, but they haven't walked the walk. And both these women have had 2 divorces, so they've not only done it once, they've done it twice.
Oh no, I've only done it once.
Oh, you've done it once. Okay, Fiona. But just having had the experience, and they can understand, and they've got the empathy, and so I went in there with the $47, and then I saw the value that I was getting by midday the first day, and I just couldn't keep up with the amount of information that I was receiving. I just felt I was missing out by writing, and then I upgraded to the VIP. Because with the VIP, you actually get a workbook. So if any of you are thinking about, should I just upgrade to a VIP? The answer is yes. And we just had that in Brisbane. And the reason why I'm saying that is because in Brisbane, we actually run out of the books. We were not going to do that this time, but I just want to give you a warning that people found the same thing. There's just so much content. And that's exactly what happened to me in Perth 18 months ago. Because the workbook is, it's just filling in the gaps. You're not writing everything. But the main thing about the workbook is that you get to keep that. And I still refer back to it now. It's actually a really good reference book. And then also you get access to going for drinks on the social night on the Saturday, which is mixing and mingling with Fiona and Sandra, so you can get to talk to them themselves. And that was something that I felt that I really wanted to do. So, and like Jill, I went on my own, but you never felt like you were on your own ever, because everybody in the room were in exactly the same position. And so I instantly found my tribe. So, and here I am. I've stayed with my tribe, because I think once we're in it together, it's people that get you, they understand you. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't, if you want to cry, it's a safe place, whatever. It's just a beautiful event. You're going to love it, guys. You're going to really, really love it and get a lot out of it. Some of these questions here are all going to come up on the weekend. So, yeah, that was my experience.
No, it's wonderful to have you there. And Bev, just to have you sharing, because, this is where we want, one of the things that both Fiona and I felt. Fiona and I have been friends for nearly 20 years, and we worked together now for several years. But certainly one of the things that we found going through our own divorces, my divorces and Fiona's divorce, is that there wasn't anyone out there that we could get help from, that really understood it and was really getting who we were, the situations we're in. My first divorce, my kids were little, they were 5 and 8. My second, they're 18 and 21. And so there were very different needs I had at that time as well. And I was leading organizations and companies. I had my own business for my first one. My husband walked out, we left with the business, and I was in a position that I had to borrow money to pay him out, and ended up financially having to start again. and backwards as well, significantly backwards, but I'll share more on the weekend. But the second one, I'd also gone into business with my second marriage and my second husband. And I also was running another business that was a global business. And I had nearly 1,000 employees when I was going through my divorce. And it was a company we were just going through listing and getting it set up on the stock market. And I was very successful at work and absolutely not successful at home. And, you know, I had to show up every day with my brave face on and put it, you know, to the team and make out that, you know, at the board meetings that everything was together. And I had to be my strong and at times even masculine. And this was just a really tough place to be. And I just didn't know who I could go to that I trusted, one, that I actually acknowledged that I could listen to their advice and they could give me good, sound advice. And in all areas, not just my finances, it was my kids, my friends, my family, none of them understood where I was at. And I really needed to get somewhere. And this is where it all evolved, with Fiona certainly putting together this program after she'd looked all over the world and couldn't find someone that she could get trusted advice from too. So that really pulled it all together, pulled it together in a timeline. And we're going to do this over the weekend. On the Friday, it goes back into your past, goes into a bit of unpacking some of those onion layers, why they got there in the first place, but not too trauma deep. You know, we just make sure we just get a real understanding of it. And then day 2 is more about building stronger foundations, getting a real understanding of where we're at and why we're here now today. And then on Sunday, it's about moving forward. It's about getting excited, getting a plan into place, and really taking some positive action steps moving. And we know when you come in on Friday where you're going to be already on Sunday, because we've taken thousands of girls through this journey over the weekend, and we know how much hope you're going to have. And that's what's already exciting us.
Yeah, so ladies, there's a couple of questions. I also want to let you know that there is 2 VIP options. The first one is the $97 option, where you get the workbook, you get the networking night on the Saturday night, and you also get a heap of videos and things that Sandra and I have recorded, and get access to our connected women's community. What is our a group that meet on a Wednesday night. They do a call, and 30 days free into this group. We give all of our VIPs. You can go in there, you can do some lessons. It's a great introduction to personal development if you haven't done much to develop your personality and help you get new tools and skills. We're all about growing our minds, not just talk therapy. We don't, you know, we really help you to be able to move forward. And most of the girls that work with us, they actually have already tried a lot of things in the past that haven't worked. We are Australia's #1 divorce recovery and life transition coaches. And that's the results we get. You can't make them up. Just go onto our website, go onto our Google or our Facebook, and just have a look at our reviews and our success stories. There's literally hundreds of ladies that tell you their own story in their own words. So the Connected Women's Community is our baseline program, and we're giving it to you free for the VIPs for 30 days, where you can go in there and you start to develop your personality, and you also do a call a week where you really cementing the friendships and meeting more ladies who understand what you're going through. And you can just come in every week and have a cup of tea or bring your wine and have a chat to the girls. And, you know, it's just lovely to have a beautiful community where you feel supported. The second option is if you want to make the most of the event, because these events are pretty full on. Sandra and I are the only speakers, and we speak, we do 4 sessions a day, each day for the 3 days. So it's really content rich and a lot of really, I mean, you will learn more in these 3 days than 10 years of therapy, I'm promising you. And I do this work, and the way that we do it is because we get the best results doing it like this. But if you want to really make the most of it, so in your breaks, you're not racing out trying to get coffee and trying to find your meals, where you just, you know, if you want to walk out of the room and have the catering and have a network area especially for you, we do have a VIP Platinum program. That's $497. You get morning tea and your lunches supplied every day. So you've got your coffee breaks and everything covered. You can just walk straight in there. You get looked after, and you've got a group of women around you who are also Platinum VIPs. And what we do with the Platinums, they get everything that the other VIPs get, but they also get some extra training from Sandra and I, what is pre-recorded, so you can listen to those whenever you like. But you also will get a consultation after the event with Sandra or me. And so you can ask us anything about your situation, and we can guide you and help you to be able to make the best decisions to move forward. And we also give you a $500 credit. So it's costing you $497. We're giving you a $500 credit that you can use on any one of our coaching programs after the event. So if you think that you might want to work with us, that is an amazing package that covers your catering and your networking and a heap of other resources. So that's called the Platinum VIP. So everyone needs to buy a general ticket, and then once you've bought your general ticket, it will give you an option if you want to do VIP or Platinum VIP. If you can't afford to do either, that's okay as well. We really want you to be there. We really want to be able to add to your life. So if you can't, that's fine. But if you can, we really strongly recommend it. Not for us, because we don't make any money out of it anyway. It costs us more to deliver it than what we're charging. But we really know that this adds a huge amount of value for the girls who, are serious about moving forward in their life. So they're the two packages. I just wanted to explain them properly. If you are already a VIP and you want to become a Platinum, you just need to send us a message at support@womenontransition.com. So an email, support@womenontransition.com, because we will need to give you a code that you use when you upgrade, and we give you the $100 back. You've paid $97 for VIP already. We'll give you $100 back that you use that code to upgrade. So Platinum will cost you $397 instead of $497 because you've already become a VIP. So if anyone's got any questions, more than happy to answer them. If you need clarification, we have a full team in the background, support people who are there to help you. So support@womenontransition.com. You'll find our support services, and our whole business is very professional. We look after our clients. We look after, we really try and do the right thing by everybody. And so we've got a team there that's always available to help you. So just reach out if anybody needs anything.
Absolutely. So ladies, if you've got any questions, please just keep popping them down on the side, because we can see them as we go along, and we'll just definitely endeavor to answer everyone's. But if you're brave enough and you want to share, put your hand up. Happy to talk to you and have your question shared here live. One of the things with the girls over the weekend is it's at the Melbourne Convention Centre, as I'm sure most of you know. It's on the Crown side, the Crown Casino side. So it's on the Clarendon Street side, and there's the public transport's right there. You've got the bus and the tram, and the ability to be able to get there is super easy. It's right in the city. One of the things that the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre, MCEC, offer on their website is lots of information. So if you're thinking, where do I park? Can I stay nearby? How do I get there? Just go onto the mcec.com website, and they've got lots and lots of support as far as even a mobility or accessibility and things that you might want to find out more about as well. The other thing that we encourage you to do is just to bring a little wrap or jacket, because we can't always control the cool or the heat in the room. They tend to always make them a bit cooler than warmer for sure. So sometimes it does, the temperature is not quite yours, that you find ideal. So just bring something, or maybe a few layers that you can slip on and off. What to wear? Super smart casual. Just come comfy. You'll be sitting, standing, maybe dancing by Sunday, and the ability for you to be able to feel relaxed and really comfortable. One of the things I encourage you to do, for those that are that don't have the platinum, that have the general or VIPs, is to bring along your water bottles, because you can fill up there. Bring along, maybe some snacks, and also maybe bring, even when you arrive, your coffee or tea, because there is a coffee shop. It's called The Shed, and it's on the ground floor inside the convention center, and it's going to be open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is wonderful. However, with 300-400 women going at the same time to get a coffee or to go at lunch, it gets pretty busy. And we do give you good breaks. We give morning tea half an hour and lunch nearly an hour. So you have time. However, you don't have a lot of time to queue up and then get, and then eat it. So if it was me, I'd probably pack, bring my coffee. I'd probably pack, if you're watching your budget, bring along a sandwich or a salad, and you can eat. The convention center don't love you eating food in the convention center that's not theirs, but it's such a big place. They really rarely get to see who's doing what. So there's plenty of space inside and just outside near the river as well, that you might be able to go and pop around and just be able to rest as well. So just feel very comfortable knowing that we want you to be comfortable. We've got pens, and there's going to bring your journal, or bring a pad or something that you can write in. And if you aren't upgrading to VIP, and even if you are, it's nice to have a few of your own notes as well that you might want to just put down as actions. And I like scribbling, and then I like putting down my actual action steps as well. So we've got some really good, I've got some questions I'm missing here, Fiona. How are we going there? Got the website up there, which is great. Very cool.
Ladies, have you got any questions? Like, just pop your hand up, wave like this, and we'll unmute you. You can ask us anything you like. Sandra and I are very approachable, and we're here to help you. So, Miss Narelle, I'm just clicking a thing to ask you to unmute. There you go. Good one.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm so excited for this weekend because I've been on a journey. I want to ask, in the meantime, do we get to mingle with the other women that are in the same position as me?
At the event, do you mean?
Yes.
Yep. So we do, through the event, we have lots of opportunities. We do some sharing. We do some, we get you out of your chairs to be able to talk to each other for a couple of different exercises. And then in the breaks, of course, we encourage you to connect and talk to each other and get to know people. The reason Sandra and I do these events in each state, so we've just done Brisbane, we did Sydney, we do Perth, we've got Adelaide. The reason we do them in each state, it would be much easier for us to stay at home and do Zooms, but the reality is it's just not the same. When we bring women together and we see each other's souls and we understand and we have that opportunity to be together, something really beautiful happens and the walls come down, and it's just so easy to make new friends and to understand each other. So you would definitely have those opportunities, and we encourage you in the morning tea breaks, lunch breaks, not to sit on your own, to actually join in and meet each other. So absolutely, Narelle.
Awesome question. And we've got one here from Marez, and it's about starting over from scratch. She's got 2 young boys, and she said it's terrifying, and I bet it is. And she said, I lost everything, and will you cover starting over? Absolutely. I started over twice, and we're going to go through and unpack some of the things that we need to be identifying, that that we've got to where we are, but certainly moving forward, things that we want to be really cautious about and really watching out for, and some red flags in relationships as well moving forward. So we want to make sure that we're protecting what we have, and making sure that as we go forward, we make sure we sustain it and we go into really healthy boundaries, healthy relationships, and having and being a healthy role model for our kids, boys and girls. So we see with our sons, when mum's not right, they quite often retract and they hold back, and they end up getting quieter and they more reclusive and not connecting in. Whereas the girls tend to be more rebellious, and they might, reach out, but they might do it in a way that's, them going over the rails or doing things that are a bit, out of character too. So these are both things that we want to make sure that we can identify, because we know that when mum is right, the whole family's right. And that's what we want to put back into play, that when the kids see us, particularly boys, when they see mum is okay, they relax into it and they actually turn into, start just looking after themselves and becoming, the young man that they need to be. And so this is where it's really valuable and important to get us right first. So yes, we do cover that. And you're in the right place.
And ladies, Sandra and I have done this work for a long time. We don't judge, we understand, how painful this is and how hard it is. And, I just could not understand why this happened to me, why this happened to our family. We were not supposed to be one of those families that went through divorce. And so I threw myself into studying. I'd already done, 25, 26 years or something of personal development. I was a team leader. I ran my business. I had an international operation. I had 65 staff. So I was already doing a lot of work with my staff, and I really believed in personal development. So, but I did not understand divorce. I did not understand relationship loss, and I did not know how to fix my own brokenness. I was absolutely gutted that this had happened, and I was so sad to see my husband with another woman, and it was so painful. But I also knew that I needed to be a role model, and I needed to help my kids. I had, older teenagers from 18 to 22, and my kids, they lost their dad, they lost their identity, they lost their family. The day he walked out to take up with his new girlfriend, we lost everything that we thought was precious and real in our family. And so that's why I started this journey for myself. I threw myself into learning what I didn't know and what I needed to understand. And so what we're sharing with you is our journey, what we've learned and what we've now helped thousands of women to be able to understand. So that's why we're taking you on this growth pathway that you need to heal. And, it's going to help you understand and help you be able to deal with your ex, deal with your hurt, deal with your pain, deal with your kids, and give you new tools and skills. And, in doing this work, I've been able to I did a lot of family therapy, a lot of strategic intervention, a lot of NLP, a lot of became a life coach. I did all this work because I needed to understand how to rebuild. And now my kids have a great relationship with their dad. My ex-husband and I have a great relationship. Him and his new wife come to our place for Christmas, and we can do weddings. We share grandchildren. I never thought this was going to be possible at first, because I never thought I'd get over the pain. But as I went through this process of understanding how and why our relationship broke down and what I missed, because I didn't think I did, but I had blind spots. And, I was able to negotiate and navigate all through this trauma. And it is very traumatic, and it does leave lasting pain. But we want to help you over these 3 days to see how it's possible to come out the other side. And now, we do feel totally healed. And I know my kids really appreciate what I was able to do for our family, and that we can now have a family again. We're just a bigger family. We're a different family. I've got a new partner I've been with for 9 years, and yeah, again, I thought when he first left me, no one was ever going to want me again. And how was I ever going to have, date and all of those things that I had no idea how to do. But again, I went out there and I learned and I taught myself and I found out what I needed to know. And now Sandra and I've been able to put this into, and impact and help thousands of ladies with this information that we've both been through and had to navigate this first. So that's why we do this work, because when I went looking for who was doing it well, who could I learn from, I didn't find very many positive groups. I found a lot of man-hating groups. I found a lot of toxic behavior that I just didn't want to do. And I knew that I had to get myself right before I was going to be of help to anybody else. So that's where we're coming from, ladies, with how we do this work. It's positive, it's proactive, it's for the betterment of everybody involved.
Absolutely. And, ladies, everyone, you're going to come together and hear from the girls in the audience as well, but certainly shared experiences. And, Natasha said, does anyone else have the experience that divorce destroyed a lot of relationships and friendships? And absolutely. And, I remember, certainly from my marriage days, going into single days, all of my friends they were all couples, and I didn't have any single girlfriends. And the ones that were like, they weren't people that I had really spent a lot of time with even. So I had to build up a whole new friendship group and a whole new community as well. So that was super hard. And we're going to unpack why that happens, and also introduce you to a whole lot of girls that are going to be potentially your new community or part of it, not replacing your friends, but certainly adding to your friendship groups as well, because they're girls that are coming from that place of a safe space, and also trusted experiences too, that you'll be able to share over the weekend and really build that connection too. So you absolutely going to find some girls that you're going to be having some great relationships. We find, and it's really interesting how it turns out, but interestingly, the first girls will share years now later, that the girls that they talked to on the first day or at registration or sat next to her on the first morning or straight after lunch are the girls that they've really bonded with and they've stayed great friends with and they've actually become besties with. So it's actually some great heartwarming stories that we hear afterwards, a year or so later, that these have actually been such good bonds that have started from that day. So your weekend ahead as well, which sounds wonderful. It's you being open to it too, coming in with an open mind and, coming from a heart place and knowing that there's going to be some girls there that you are going to be connecting with, and being open to just to say hi and just reach out as well.
We do provide tissues, ladies.
Oh, yes.
But you only need them for a little tiny bit, probably. We're all about being positive and proactive. So, we don't stay in the stuck bit. We want to show you how to move forward. But of course, we're all about being real. And for a lot of us, this is not something that we, get to openly share, because most people don't understand. And so I know so many of you beautiful ladies, you just soldier on and you do what it takes, and you put, your masculine energy on, because it's what you've got to do as single mums to survive and to, keep the family operational. And this is a lovely chance for you to take some of those walls down. So yes, there's probably going to be some tears, but we accept everything as it happens. We think that everything happens in perfect order and as it's meant to be. There's nothing you really need to do, one of the ladies said, between now and Friday. If you are just a general ticket, I'd strongly suggest that you do bring a decent sized notepad or a journal that you can write in, so you keep all your notes together. Whereas, the VIPs and platinums, you will write in your book, and it's 100-page workbook. So that's what I'm saying. Don't just bring a few bits of paper. Actually get something that's all together so you can keep all your notes if you just got a general ticket. But it's showing up, it's actually making a commitment to yourself, putting the time aside that you are going to come to the event, and you know that you're going to actually be able to play full out, because you know this is your time. We want you to prioritize yourself and say no to some other people, because people will pop up and they'll say, can you do something on Friday, Saturday and Sunday? And I want you to practice saying, you know, no, I'd love to be able to do that, but that's not going to work for me this weekend. And that starts to give you a framework as well, how to have healthy boundaries. And we're absolutely going to help you with those over the weekend too.
Yes, Bridget, you do get the workbook. If you're a VIP or a platinum, you get the workbook when you arrive. And so you can use it for out the whole weekend, and it comes with your VIP platinum ticket. So absolutely. And, you know, this is, yeah, your turn to show up. And we had a few other questions in here, which were really cool as well. And I think tissues definitely. And yeah, before Friday, no, you don't have to prepare anything. You don't have to read anything. It's really just you showing up on time. You can, registration, ladies, starts from 7:30 a.m. So whilst we don't actually start the day until 9, that's when we open the doors and let you into the room. And we usually have a bit of music as you come in to get you into the groove of the day. What we do is start the registration from 7:30. When you get there at 7:30, Jill, who spoke earlier, is going to be one of the girls that's going to be at registration. So you get to see her beautiful, welcoming, beautiful, gorgeous face. And when you come into the room, you're going to get to see Bev. She's going to be on stage welcoming you into the room as well. So what we wanted to bring to this call, the girls that you're going to see, so you're going to feel very comfortable. What we encourage you to do is to check out your phone just before, on the day before, the night before, or the morning of. You're going to get through an email and an SMS showing a code. It's going to be a QR code. And what we want you to do is that's what you're going to be registering with. We have a paperless entry. So you get to registration and you show the QR code, and the girls will just have their phone and they just scan you in. And the other thing we do is just get you to sign what we call a disclaimer when you arrive, just saying that, you know, that this is not advice. We don't give you financial advice and so on. So this is us saying that, and it's just been, we're all clear. You come in, you do a little registration from your phone, and boom, that's it. All you need to do, and we'll give you a little name tag. So we make it super easy, super smooth, but we do encourage you to come early, because we get you to fill out or start thinking about some goals and things you want to achieve over the weekend. So you get to fill out that little form, and you also get to meet each other and start connecting already, which is really wonderful.
Yeah, we have a crew, ladies, so we invite girls that have worked with us in the past who know us, and they will be there. So you'll see our crew, they're in white shirts and they will have a lanyard, a pink one usually, and so they're there to support you and help you. They will be around. You can ask them anything. They will definitely be able to point you in the direction of where you need to go to. So we've done this lots of times, not our first rodeo. You can trust us. And together we're going to have an amazing weekend. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, so Jackie, if you,
Yeah.
we've got one here. So if you do bring a suitcase, the convention center has what's called a cloakroom. So you can go to the convention center, go to their information cloakroom, and you can check your suitcase in at the cloakroom. They give you a bag tag like they do at a hotel. And so it's nice and secure in there. There's not going to be much room in our venue room. So we encourage you to go to the cloakroom at the convention center as well. But now, yes, wonderful Zoom user. I'm not sure your name, but you're wonderful that you're all locked in and you're coming. And ladies, who's feeling more confident now, just in a space of just going through, seeing and hearing, feeling that you're going to be in good hands over the weekend? So that's wonderful. And yes, ladies who bought VIP, are we going to receive a book on site? Yes, when you arrive. Did you say what room it is? It's at the convention center. It's called the Clarendon Auditorium. So it is on your emails. It's on your ticketing. It's literally across from the Crown. So it's on that side of the MCEC, Melbourne Convention Centre. So it's called Clarendon Auditorium, and it's on Clarendon Street. And yes, we will have signs, big signs through the convention center. The Fiona and my mugs on them, telling you where to go, and it'll be at the Clarendon and pointing. And there's staff at the convention centre you can ask, but we'll have our team and banners and things, and you just where to go. You go up a little elevator. We'll have something at the bottom or up a lift. There's lots of things. And as we go through, how many ladies are coming to the Melbourne event? I'm thinking about just 350. I think we'll have around that many. And you need to pre-book parking. Good question for the Melbourne Convention Centre. I believe if you pre-book it, it's cheaper. So I definitely look at how you can go into the Convention Centre. You can go in and you can pre-purchase it, and it's cheaper to be able to do it that way. And here we go. Looking forward to meeting you as well.
Registration for everyone opens on the first day from 7:30 a.m. We will have our team there to welcome you from 7:30, and so you can come anytime to register on the first morning from 7:30, and that means it just makes it easier. You can come in, get registered, get your name badge, sit down, talk to everybody, and just relax into it before the event starts. We start on time. We try and keep time all the way through. So the actual sessions will run from 9 till 5 each day. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And on the Saturday night is the networking night for the girls that are VIP and Platinum.
Awesome. So ladies,
Fiona,
oh yes. Sorry,
sorry,
Jo.
Fiona, there was a question there from Elaine. Do you have any psychologists on the team?
So no, we don't have psychologists or psychiatrists. We have family therapists, we have strategic intervention therapists, we have life coaches, and you will find our program very different to what is generally done for separated and divorced women. And yeah, we say look at the results, and you will see that the work we do is very much moving you forward, not just talking about. And we actually will go through some slides to show you the difference as well. We do have a lot of psychologists, a lot of psychiatrists, a lot of doctors, a lot of counsellors join our courses. So just about every one of our groups has some medical professionals in there, but Sandra and I, our resumes are up on our website, womenontransition.com, and so you can see where we come from. We're much more forward focused coaches rather than just therapists.
Yes, and we have the networking question. So Saturday evening for the girls that are VIPs or platinums, they get to come across to our networking event. It's with Fiona and I and our crew and team and all the other girls that you'll be hanging out with over the weekend. And it's straight after the event. So we give you the venue. It's literally just across the road. It's nearby, and the ability to be able to come and hang out with us, ask us anything. You get a complimentary drink. You also get some nibbles and snacks as well throughout the networking. It's from 5:30 to 8:30.
And we do have a great time.
There are no discounted VIP tickets because it's just hard cost. It's our workbook, and it's our drinks, nibbles, and time, and what you receive as well. So we hope you can make it work as well. And ladies, we are excited to be spending the weekend with you. We're in Sydney now because we just came off the cruise. We're flying down to Melbourne tomorrow, and we're going to be spending next few days getting organized for the weekend and looking forward to meeting you all. Yeah. If you've got
one more thing, probably just need to tell you is that Sandra, now I've just forgotten this very important thing that I need to tell everybody.
I think the big thing is that they arrive early on Friday, 7:30. Everybody, 7:30 to 8:30. Like, get there between that time. Don't try and get there last minute. And we open the doors at 9 o'clock, and we start presenting with content at 9 o'clock. We start on time, and so we're very efficient. We stop about mid-morning, 10:30ish for about a half-hour break, and we stop at 12:30ish for an hour break. Just so you know, we stop mid-afternoon around 3 o'clock just for more of a stretch break mid-afternoon, and then we finish the day at 5 o'clock. So bring yourselves, bring your pad, pen if you need to, bring a jacket, but just know that you're going to be in good hands, and we're going to be looking after you as well.
And I remembered my very important thing I've got to tell you before we go.
Okay. Good.
Ladies, so if you have a friend or
Yes.
that you know who should be there, who should come to the event, please feel free to invite them. We've got a few tickets left. And also, I really want to encourage you. What we have seen over the last few events, what really is beautiful, is mums bringing their daughters. So if your daughters are over 18, we never advertise it because we always usually sell out of our events. But if you have a daughter, we have seen lots of mums in Brisbane. Quite a few of the mums bought their girls, and they get so much out of it. One, they understand mum better, and they understand how painful this is and how, hard it is to get through a separation or a divorce. The second thing is it actually teaches the girls how to have healthy relationships, how to pick the right person, how to be able to navigate conflict and communicate and speak up and have healthy boundaries. So we're teaching the girls these things at a much younger age, and we have just found this to be so valuable. The young girls are totally engaged. They love it because they've never heard any of this stuff before. So if you've got some young, like 30, 40, whatever, daughters, or even down into their 20s, we do say 18 and above because, a lot of it is adult content that we're talking about.
Fiona sometimes swears.
And I do say some swear words sometimes too. So if you've got some daughters, please feel free to, enroll them. If you are enrolling a second person, you do need to do that with a separate email address. So other person's details and a separate email address and phone number, because our database, we have automatic electronic registration process, can only register one person on an email address. But anyway, we're going to record. This is being recorded. We're going to send it out to you tomorrow, as well as a recording if you did miss part of this, this meeting tonight, so you can refer back to it. But hopefully, hopefully you girls are excited. Please turn up. Like, you miss out. It's, if you don't come, this is really valuable stuff. We really want to encourage you to set this time aside. It is very, very worth it. Look at what the girls say after an event. They just absolutely love it, and we know that you're going to too. So we're looking forward to seeing you on Friday.
Awesome. Have an awesome week ahead, ladies, and we'll see you Friday morning bright and early.
See you
See you
guys.
then. Bye.